Hi everyone, my name is Peter Eakin. I'm CRO here at Lead Onion. Great to have everyone here for our first ever daily live demo of the platform. It's a new project for us. We'd love your feedback as we go through things and look to hone and refine. Essentially, the plan is every day at this time, myself or a member of the team here at Lead Onion is going to host an open session where we're going to help new users, existing customers, or people just interested in what Lead Onion is and does get a chance to kind of experience the platform, ask questions of our team, and get some support in the group formats, help each other, right? And you'll see on screen there's a discount codes available for everyone on the webinar today, which will enable you to redeem 20% off your subscription and receive an extra free 1,000 leads from us. So if by the end of this call you decide Lead Onion is the platform for you and want to move forward, grab that discount code and make sure you add that into the checkouts when you purchase your subscription, and you'll get yourself some money off as well as some extra free leads. The way these webinars are going to run is we'll spend a few minutes kind of talking about Lead Onion generally speaking, what we do, who we are, and who ultimately we're here to help. And then we'll jump into the product itself and we'll walk through some of the core features, some of the main ways our users are getting value. If there's anyone on this webinar today who is totally new to Lead Onion, has no idea what we do or what we are, first off, welcome. Great to be able to introduce our business to you today. Lead Onion's a buyer intent platform. We help B2B companies to scale up go-to-market, whether that is through advertising plays, account-based marketing plays, cold email, SDR teams, you name it, we help. And what we offer is deep account intelligence and a constant real-time stream of high intent leads. When we look at the B2B market today, in particular kind of around the struggles that sellers face, it's really clear that what we did a couple of years ago, even 12 months ago, is less effective. And you can see this being measured across all metrics. 2 years ago, average B2B pipeline attribution, 40% or so was coming from direct outbound activities, whether that's cold calling, cold email, knocking on doors. More than a third of pipeline generated by B2B businesses and sales organizations was coming from their outbound activity. Today, that number is closer to around 10%. Across the board, outbound is harder than it's ever been. And there's several reasons for that, but I think ultimately it comes down to the case of knowing who is in market for your services. People are bombarded on a daily basis. So if they are not specifically in market, they are far less receptive to any form of offer, whether that be an ad, whether that be an email, a cold call, you name it. And what this creates is a system where sales and marketing teams spend huge time, resources, and effort chasing prospects that are simply never going to buy from you right now. And the cost of that stacks up. And so I'm sure everybody in this call has some general understanding of intent signals. Theoretically, right, intent signals are the solution. They identify when folks are in market for your service, right? Well, not always. Intent signals rely on an event. This could be a visit to your website, funding rounds, they searched online for something, and therefore they have intent to buy. This is a bit of a leap to make, and I think is one of the reasons why we hear from a lot of businesses that have invested in intent data in the past, but the results that they've got from it haven't been as strong as they'd have hoped. In some cases, the results have been nothing. I think it's important to understand what intent signals are. They are an event, they are a signal. And on average, when folks are in market for any type of product or service, they're doing a lot more than just one thing, one signal. Typically, before folks have even identified how to solve the problem they have, they've done 30 to 40 different types of online research. And if you've ever bought products and services for your company or even in your personal life, reflect on that journey. You'll have used social media, reviews, search, AI, webinars like this. You'll have demos, you'll have talked to sales reps. Each of these are a signal of intent, but none of them alone can identify real buyers without any inaccuracies. And that's why companies are now starting to invest in multiple data providers. The rise of platforms like Clay that use waterfall enrichment to give you the best possible contact. Why are we not applying that to our signals? This is what Lead Onion's here to do. In real time, Lead Onion monitors every major source of intent data, and it aggregates signals across all of these different sources to identify your very, very top prospects that are showing a ton of different signs of intent to buy, behaving like a real buyer would. And our product creates that output for you in three main ways. The first piece is deep account intelligence. Deep account intelligence is for businesses that are running complicated or sophisticated go-to-market plays. Um, if you're on this call today and you're just using email automation or you're just making, LinkedIn messages, your only way to reach new prospects, account intelligence is not for you. This is for businesses that are currently running ABM plays, investing significant sums of money on advertising channels, running multi-channel digital campaigns, have in-house SDRs and AEs that are out there hunting, and they want to know who are our top accounts across our entire markets and who are all of the key stakeholders within. But for those folks on the webinar today that are maybe running simpler go-to-market plays, we also offer what we call intent qualified leads. The output here is the contact itself. Who is the best possible contact for you to reach at any given time? And finally, we wrap the intent space here by providing data on who specifically is visiting your website. Let's dig into the platform and explore how these tools come together to support your business growth. If anybody's on the webinar today, please feel free to ask questions as we go. The Q&A should be enabled, so if there's anything you want me to spend time in or how I want to pick my brains on intent signals in any way, drop them into the chat and I'll be able to get to that at the end of the webinar. Let's dig into Lead Onion's core products. Before we get to that though, general overview of the accounts. If you're on a trial with us right now, this will be familiar to you. If you're an existing customer, likewise. Lead Onion is laid out in a very simple format. Your central dashboard here gives you access to all of your key data points, how many companies are showing intent signals, how many are in market, and how many intent qualified leads are available, plus how many are visiting your website. If you're on a trial and you haven't yet done so, make sure to unlock your next 7 days of live data. That's then going to give you live intent signals moving forward. On the left-hand side, you get access to all of your core features from top to bottom. They give you deep account intelligence, the ability to get your leads, the ability to identify your website, search for contacts inside our B2B database, manage your sales outreach programs and pipelines, as well as manage your CRM. And on the top right-hand side of the screen, you've got all of your core account management tools. Clicking on your company name will enable you to add members of your team, explore integrations, and will tell you how many data credits you have remaining. As well as here, you can access our help area where you can access things like help articles, release notes, or raise a query with our team. Let's dig into our three core features, starting with account intelligence. Account intelligence uses real-time intent signals to predict who are your top accounts at any given moment in time. At the bottom of the screen here, you can see on my account, every few minutes, it's finding me new companies and new accounts that are showing an intent signal from my business. These intent signals are coming from over 22 different data providers and sources and are designed to capture every meaningful signal that a buyer does along that buyer journey. These intent signals form for you what we call your data lake. Your data lake is accessible under the Account Intelligence Hub and is your customized database. Again, most folks on the call today may be familiar with sales and teller lead generation platforms, and typically the way they operate is that there is one master database that every user is filtering down on. And when you're working with big products, big companies, you're often competing for the attention of the same contact with hundreds, if not thousands of other people at any given time. That's why that data becomes so saturated, because that database isn't exponentially growing all of the time. It is relatively fixed and static, and more people join those platforms to target the same contacts. With your data lake with Lead Onion, this is different. This is built in real time based on real signals your ICP shows and is entirely custom to your business. There is no other company in the world that sees access to the same contacts and data that you do when you're on Lead Onion, regardless of how many users are on board in our platform. And your data lake is built across three main intent types. So the first intent type is website intents. This triggers when companies or people visit your website. You place a simple tracking script onto your website, which is accessible in the website section here under Connect. And once that's then placed in real time, we start to de-anonymize the companies and the people visiting your website. The next piece here is person level signals. If you're selling into the US or a US based company, person level signals are critical. What person level signals do is they identify the exact individual that's searching for a topic, an event, or a competitor of yours in real time. This makes intent signals actionable. It's not a case of X company is interested, it's a case of this person is interested. Lead Onion utilizes deterministic person level resolution to ensure that the signals you're following up on are 100% accurate. If you'd like to dig into how person level data is generated, there is content on our website that breaks down how our data provider resolve intent signals at the level of the individual. I personally love person level signals because it eliminates the guesswork that comes into my outreach and allows me to understand and know specifically who are the people I need to talk to. For example, at Quilt Software here, we know Clinton Brady, their SVP of retail, is currently searching for sales automation and lead generation. He was doing that just 43 minutes ago. On top of all of this, we layer in account level signals. Account level signals identify trends within an organization that tell you they are likely to be in market. To the point I made at the start of this webinar, each signal on its own is not strong enough to identify a real buyer. It can, don't get me wrong, but it can also be noisy. It is not unrealistic for us to think that all of these people I'm showing you here, if this is the only thing that they are searching for, they are doing it randomly. So as your data lake grows, so does your account intelligence. What Lead Onion is doing in real time is it's monitoring every account in your data lake. And it's looking for those that are showing intent in multiple different ways across multiple different sources online. It's looking for the people that are behaving like a real buyer would. And as it finds them, it uses AI to analyze their behavior and pinpoint where are they likely to be on a buyer journey. So coming back to account intelligence and who this is for. This is for teams that are running sophisticated go-to-marketing plays, that are running awareness ads on Google and LinkedIn and Meta, running email, creating content, hosting events, targeting big enterprises with big ticket deals. Active accounts tells you not just who you need to reach, which accounts are showing signals, but gives you the lowdown on where they are on the buyer process. So you can deliver the right channel across the right message to the right person that's going to get them to take action with you. Lead Onion looks at 4 key buyer phases. Initial. This is people just starting to research your industry or your products or your services. They're in that problem identification phase of their buyer journey. Next, we look at interested and active. These are mid-funnel signals. Here, you're going to start to see some competitor interactions coming in, potentially a visit to your website. And finally, in-depth. In-depth are your top prospects, or at least the prospects that are showing the deepest, strongest levels of research into what you do. As a business, if you're trying to grow and scale, and you're currently doing multi-channel to do so, you want to make sure that you're touching every active account in your market. And you want to make sure that you've aligned your campaigns to where they are in the journey. Here's how Lead Onion makes that easy. Let's say I'm an SDR and account executive within a SaaS company. I want to spend my day focusing on my in-depth prospects. Either you can deliver these prospects directly to your reps in their CRM, in Slack, or where they operate today. And when an account is identified as in-depth for you, it's because they're showing multiple signals of intent. It's like a public knowledge consulting business. They're coming through on my campaign, showing in-depth, high intent for lead onion. Their last signal was 3 minutes ago, and I can hit the quick view option here to get the lowdown on everything they're looking for. Let's look at their timeline. So on the 23rd of September, they were looking at Lead IQ and Luscious Systems, two low-cost alternatives to our platform. We saw them searching for those same providers again about 10 days later on the 3rd of October. 2 days later, we saw them searching for sales automation, Apollo, Lead IQ, Terminus, and SixSense. A few days later, again, they were searching for customer data. We also know they're working with Salesforce. And once again, just a few minutes ago, they searched for customer data again. I have enough signals to tell me that this is not just a random one-off event. Public knowledge are clearly searching for our kind of technology. So with this signal, I can now focus on which contacts we already have relationships with. I find these under revealed. I can identify new contacts that have specifically been searching. We'll find these under person. And I can identify all of the relevant stakeholders at that business under target persona. Plus, I've got access to every contact that works there that Lead Onion has information for. I want to discover some new contacts, so I'm going to hit person here. This is going to tell me the people inside this business that are searching for products like mine. And here we have a list of every contact inside public knowledge I know to have been searching for Lead Onion. We have folks like Mateo, Amy, and Geraldine here. And I can use the reveal function to use a data credit and get their contact information. This is how account intelligence supports outbound teams to know who is their top accounts. But if you're a marketer on this call, that's too late for you to be reaching them. You want to be reaching them at the very start of that journey. So you want to focus on the accounts that are at the initial stages. And your goal here is to put content in front of them to move them to your website, get them onto a discovery call with your sales team. You'll see here, LinkedIn is always identifying folks just starting to show that research. In this instance, we can see the signals are lower. There's less interactions with customers. There's less research into the kinds of keywords and topics that we're tracking. There's no interaction with our brand directly yet. Lead Onion pushes data like this into LinkedIn, into Google, into your CRM, into your marketing platforms. So as these folks start to research more and more about their problems, start to find more and more solutions, your business is the ones they're discovering. Within account intelligence, you can also monitor target account lists and lookalike leads to find more data on companies you specifically want to work with. This works great for target account lists, Fortune 1000, Fortune 500 companies, and with lookalikes, you can plug in your best customer and find companies that match. So if account intelligence is the product designed to support big go-to-market plays, ABM, advertising, email, intent qualified leads and intent search is supporting smaller businesses who are reliant on things like cold calling, cold email, direct messaging as their ways to reach buyers. Let's explore intent search. You can access intent search from the left-hand side here, or from clicking through from your homepage where it says View IQLs. An IQL is what we call an intent qualified lead. Our definition here is that it is the right individual within a company that's showing high intent within the past 24 hours. The output here is contacts with contact data. And with IQLs, I can very, very easily generate a list of contacts that I need to reach. IQLs take all of your overall data and allows you to filter it down to the best possible contacts. And it's broken out across three main criteria. Intent-based criteria. This is where you can specify the level of intent, the type of individual, and the specific intent triggers you want to follow up on. Personally, I want to focus on the key individuals that are actively searching for what I sell now. So here's how I do that. I want to set my IQL type to be all person. This means it's going to bring me back every individual that specifically has searched for something I sell. As a salesperson, I want to focus on the hottest leads. So I'm going to set my phases to in-depth. And I want to focus and make sure that the industries and titles I'm getting data for are relevant. So I can see all that here. Looks great. So I'm going to run that search. This is now going to take thousands and thousands of contacts available to me across my entire data lake. It's going to narrow it down on the specific individuals that are searching that are at the highest levels of intent possible. And you can see this gives me around 335 leads, all within the past few days that have shown intents. I can see what it is they're looking for. So in the case of Sean here, he's been searching for Lusha. And I can also get information more about what his business has been looking for, where I know for the past month or so, they've been searching for all forms of business growth software and sales software. I can reveal Sean's contact information. It's then going to generate his email address, telephone number, and I can immediately reach out. But let's say I don't want to spend my time filtering through lists. I'm on demos, I'm on webinars, or your sales team is doing something similar. Let's push those leads to your sales team with a lead flow. A lead flow allows you to create a really simple automation that ensures that when leads need to be followed up with, when new leads are discovered, that your sales team get that exactly where they work today. If you're on a trial with us currently, explore our integrations hub, accessible up here. Here you'll be able to find the steps to connect things like Slack, connect HubSpot or Salesforce, so that you can start pushing leads directly to where your sales team work. The basic premise with a lead flow is that I create the search I want to do. Just reset this here. And I create an automation around it. Automation has a few premises to it. First off, the frequency we want that automation to run. I want to get new leads every single day, so I'm going to set this to daily. Reveals. How many leads do you want to be pushed on a daily basis? We don't have a huge team here. Typically, we want to be talking to around 20 new people per day, so I'm going to set that to 20. And max reveals for company. How many contacts per company do you want to send if multiple people are available? I set this to 1. Now I can create where I want my automation to push my leads to. I want to add this to Slack. It's going to give me a Slack alert and containing all of the information I need to follow up with that person, their contact information, their LinkedIn profile, all of the intent that they're showing. Let's say I also want to push this across to my CRM. And I want to automate a couple of outbound first touches so that I can ensure that I'm reaching out to people immediately when they show intent, rather than it being a case of like, I'm delayed because I'm doing something else. Once you're happy with your lead flow, save that automation. What this would do now is every single day, it's going to get me the 20 best leads from this list. It's going to email them from me. It's going to send them to my HubSpot CRM, and it's going to alert me on Slack that it's done both of those things. It's going to give me the ability to press one button, connect and message that person on LinkedIn when I get the opportunity to do so. This is how intent search and lead flows create a consistent daily feed of the best possible leads for your sales team. Get multiple automations running. So if your reps are covering different territories, they're only getting the leads that are relevant to them. And you can also have this push to different places. So if you want your in-depth leads to go to your reps, but you want your initial stage leads to go to your marketing campaigns, you can have multiple automations running at any given time. And the final thing to explore on the demo today is your website intent. We do so much work and effort to drive people to our website, when in reality, only ever between 2 to 3% of your overall website traffic books a meeting, books a demo, or downloads something from you and converts. With website intent, we identify the companies and the people that are visiting your website. This is set up by placing a simple tracking script on your websites, which you can access via the Connect area. Once your website tracking is then live, you start to see real-time intents on folks that are visiting your website at the account and person level. So here I know exactly the accounts and the people that are visiting my website. I know where they came from. I know the events that they did while they were on there. And I can get their contact information to follow up. As a standalone tool, website intent is a great way to follow up on the low-hanging fruit that's looking at your business today. But combined with our 21 other sources of intent, allows you to identify not just the visitors to your website, but which visitors are looking at you and your competitors all at the same time. That brings us to an end to today's daily demo. I hope this has been helpful for the folks on the call today. We'll be back same time tomorrow, walking through the platform and the best ways our customers are taking advantage of the Lead Onion system. I'll just ping the discount code up on screen for those that maybe missed it at the start of the call. As a quick reminder, if you're currently on a trial with us at the moment, you can use the discount code shared on screen there to get 20% off your subscription and receive 1,000 free data credits or leads in addition to the plan that you subscribe to. If you want to discuss the best plans for you, you'll see in your accounts the book a meeting option at the top of the screen. Click that, that'll take you through to myself or a member of the team. We can review your data together and break down what is the best possible, what is the best plans to maximize your results. If anyone wants to reach out to me directly following this webinar today, you can reach me at peter.eakin, E-A-K-I-N, at leadonion.ai. Hope to see you all on a future session with this. Thanks for joining our first ever daily live demo. We'll be back every day at 4 p.m. UK or 11 a.m. Eastern. And thank you again for joining. Have a great rest of your day.